Jackson to Lata ji, or I mean, it's a creative field, and otherwise, I'm just very honored that there are days when I see and I say, oh, people think I'm like Amitabh Bachchan. That's really cool. All of us would think that, I'm sure. I mean, like, you know, it's really nice, but I think it is not right. Why? Because, inshallah, I also work for the next 15 years, and there's a young guy like me who comes and who's a good actor or who's doing a lot of hard work. I don't think I will like being compared to him. I may not say it, I may be diplomatic and say there's space for everybody and it's very nice and da-la-la and youngsters should get a chance and all. But I think as far as the seriousness of the work that has gone in for 30 years is concerned, I don't think it is something right to do. But it's wonderful. God has been kind that people are comparing me to legends.
But is there does it niggle you, competitiveness, or you just do your own thing? Or does
Never. I think that's one of the things I like to tell all the young people. I'm amazingly competitive. I'm very ambitious. I want to do what I do the best. Even if I'm playing carom, I want to win it. If I'm brushing my teeth, I do it as there's no other brushing tomorrow. Yeah, I'm like that. Everything that I do needs to be done to the best of your capability. If you actually start doing it with that kind of passion, believe you me, you'll never believe there is competition. Because so much energy goes in, and people think I say it like the young lady here thinks I'm just being diplomatic in saying it. Yes, there will be days when you'll wake up thinking your work has not been good enough. There are days when I wake up thinking, God, am I slipping? I'm used to being a star. Am I slipping? There will be days when I'll walk on the roads. This is not unrealistic. It will happen. But I just focus myself, no. I need to open that door and say, Don ke dushman ki sabse badi ghalti ye hai ki wo Don ka dushman hai. And if I say it with passion enough, I will not believe anything else. And I think all the youngsters, I say that to my son, that please don't worry about competition. There will be bad days, there will be good years, there will be bad years, but just keep working with a lot of passion and it'll all seem okay. You won't look at anybody else.
But after all these years, yeah, that's great actually. That deserves that.
Really, to all the young people, yeah.
But after all these years, does it sometimes annoy you that you think this film was really great, I was really great in it, and it flopped? Or this film was frankly mediocre, and it was a bloody hit? And you basically find it difficult to judge.
See, at the end of it all, I've done about 47, 48 films. I think I've evened out. So it's sort of fitus, as they say in Bombay. That some not really...
I'm saying not being able to understand which is a hit and which is...
Yeah, it is frustrating.
Strange.
It is frustrating, and it's like I'll be nearing a release. I've done so many films, and I am easily one of the more in control kind of actors about being hyper during a release. I know that, you know, this has gone right. I know before the release, I'm experienced enough to know this won't go where Dilwale went, or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai went. It has its own limitations. Knowing fully well, I've gone ahead and done some films which just said good things, including my own Paheli, I thought. With no justification. Finally, it may not be a good film. But I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about women, knowing it's not going to be a... so you know all that. But still, yeah, I mean, you know, you realize on a Friday how little you know. How little you understand films.
Really?
And how much more...
After 48 films.
48 films. And how much more there is a certain section of an audience who knows. I can show, like, I'll show Dawn to all the kids here. They'll tell you in a second it's good or bad. I'm sitting here thinking it's wonderful or non-wonderful.
Right.
But it takes only 30 seconds for the audience to realize. And that realization, I think that objectivity, I think a film person can never have. You have to live with that acceptance. It's frustrating.
But that's also the beauty of it.
I think it is. I mean, it's very exciting when you're like, you know, you're calling Friday. क्या लोग क्या करें? लोग जा रहे हैं बाहर. हाँ, मुझको जाने मत दो, sir. उसको बहुत तेज बाथरूम आ रहा है. उसको जाना है. नहीं, उसको रोक लो, please, यार. You know, don't let people move. कोई chips खा रहा है. You know, it's strange. Like my friends have reacted in trials where a guy has done, don't make noise. You know, you get hyper about your films, but that's exciting. Yeah.
Do you ever sit at the back row and watch the release and the reaction of the audience?
I've seen my film once during one of the technical trials with the team, and that's it. I've never seen my film twice in the last 8 years. Some films I haven't seen at all. I mean, I just know I've made the film and it seems good. I've reached a level where I like people to come and tell me about a film I haven't seen. Hey, that's damn good. I say, oh. So I see it like an actor who's perhaps not in the film. You know, I like to retain that objectivity. A lot of films I haven't seen.
Interesting.
And I just leave them. Now, like, I've seen Dawn, and I may not see it again. I'm quite happy with having seen it once. Like one of my favorite films, Swades, I haven't seen it. after it was finally released. And a lot of people told me it's got some very nice moments and stuff. So one day, when I'm like really retired and nobody recognizing me on the roads, I will take out Swades and see it.
Okay, how about another question from the neglected side of the audience? The young girl in the white in the second row, yeah, ask your question.
Please tell us something about your recently launched book.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. You know, suddenly you have a book, and this very close friend of mine, Muni, made a documentary in a world.
Yes.
And you suddenly start realizing, am I that important? Because like I said, I genuinely am quite it sounds strange now, but it is true. The mentality is of an educated middle-class boy who's come from Delhi to do a job. It doesn't sound true anymore. You know, I wear flashy clothes, I have cool cars, and I'm a big star, but truthfully in my heart, I'm like that. So when Muni tells me I want to do a film about you, and I'm like, why? Similarly, this other friend of mine, Anupama Chopra, who's a fantastic writer, she said, I'm writing a book on you called King of Bollywood. And she's an intellectual and really a fantastic writer. She wrote a book on Sholay. And then a friend of mine, Mushtaq, says, I'm going to make a pictorial book on you. I'm like, listen, is it time to retire? Or, you know, it is a little embarrassing. I don't know. But the only reason I was writing a book, which I've stopped because so many people have written books on me now, is I really wanted to give a message to the youth and young people. Because I also truly believe at the age of 40, I'm still quite young at heart, that I can tell people that there is nothing better than honesty and goodness to achieve your goals. There are easier ways to do it, and you will find them, more opportunities in your face to go that way. But finally, goodness, honesty, and a bit of patience is all that is required.
That is the change in Shahrukh, in the sense that you are very aware of your impact now. That's a big change.
Yeah, I think everybody's life is different.
It's important to do that.
It is important to do that. See, everybody's life is different. Everybody's not going to pass through what I have passed through. But I think an experience of saying that, you know, just basic goodness, honesty is nice, should be passed through. I mean, that would be important about the book.
So now you've got home in the evening from work,
And read
you're
the book.
about to go to a party, or you read a book in between. What do you do? You come home at what time from work?
I leave normally at 6:30 or at 9 o'clock, depending on the shift. It's normally 9 to 9 or 9 to 6. It takes you an hour from anywhere in Bombay to get back to your house. So I'm either home at 10, then
And then you don't see the kids.
No, then I put them to sleep. My son sleeps at 10, my daughter at 9:30. So I put them to sleep, I tell them some stories. Sometimes of the movies I'm planning to sign. And
that puts them to sleep. That's
you know,
bad
I'll tell you, I mean, some of the films I've been doing lately, it shouldn't surprise you.
This is your first check.
Well, let me tell you, like a lot of people, how do you choose films? I mean, if I actually told you, it's quite strange. If my kids like it, I do it. If they don't like it, I don't do it. So it's dependent on a 6-year-old little girl. So I tell them a story.